All right, got the recording up. And again, thanks for taking time out today to do this interview. Fantastic film there. So
Thank you.
congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure thing. Um, so yeah, it's definitely that was a wow. I guess yeah, WOW. Yeah, it's a great story and it has like it's interesting, very interesting. I hope folks go out and see it and support the film. Now I do have some questions for you. Would you like me to go ahead and dive in there?
Of course.
Awesome, awesome.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
great. So, what was it like seeing the film received so well at festivals? I think it was New York Latino Film Festival and Austin Film Festival. How's that? And congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been very moving. Yeah, it's been very, very moving. I've had people approaching me and like sharing some like a whole bunch of like crazy similarity stories. Um, it's just always very humbling to just see how it touches people's hearts. So it's been very, very, very beautiful, especially for some dancers like that have approached me again and have shared their sort of shared sentiment.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's been wonderful.
super cool. What sort of reactions have you gotten from these folks that have approached you, excited about the film and the
It's been so it very much depends. Like I found that there's like this constant between people that have had experience with sex work in the States versus people that haven't. And I think there's like a similar reaction in these like two different categories. So for the first one, like as I was saying, some girls have approached me and they've been like, "Oh my God, we've all been there." Like not maybe not in those specific terms, but like
right? I
the
won't spoil anything, but
yeah, yeah, exactly. But
yeah,
like the sort of like the choice that she's pushed to do,
sure,
they found it like very relatable.
right.
So that has come up a lot. And then other people being like, "Oh my God, is that even like a possibility?" And like having a lot of questions in regards to how it was that we got it to be made
Right.
and all of those things. But everyone has been very moved, and that's like the biggest takeaway, I guess.
Interesting. All right, yeah, thanks for that answer. Now, that is like I said, it's WOW. Wow. Now, is there any plans or are there any plans to expand this into a like a full-length feature?
Yes, yes, for sure.
Okay. All right, great. All right, I know that's got to be coming because this has to be seen by more people and everything. And I'm just excited to see what with your storytelling abilities, what you do in a longer format using that storyline. That's very interesting.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, no, there is definitely, I mean, I'm working on the feature. I also hope to be able to direct as I'm starring it.
Right.
Yeah,
So you wrote, directed, and starred in this here?
I wrote it, directed, starred, and was one of the producers.
And was one of the producers. Wow. All right. That's a lot of hats to wear.
Indie
Indie
filmmaking.
filmmaking, right? Filmmaking, indie filmmaking 101. That's awesome. That's a lot of roles. Great. And yeah, you couldn't even tell. Like, I mean, that's wow. What inspired you to create Magdalena Te Amo? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sort of, but it's
Sort
fine.
of. All right. Okay.
Um, as far as inspiration goes, I was just very struck by how much more sexual violence, could be experienced in a romantic relationship period, versus as a sex worker. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I was very struck by discovering that. I was also very struck by how much sex work sometimes can be like a tool that helps one draw lines and place limits in regards to, consent and
Sure.
sexuality. Um, that romantic relationships so often blur, and I think that's something that is not quite like mainstream. Is not something
Right.
that is the thing that people think of whenever they are thinking of narratives adjacent to sex work or sex workers and stuff like that. And as
Yeah.
I was reflecting in my own experience and with my friends and collaborators and their experiences, we had this urge to put that thing that we had discovered and saw and it was like right there, more in the foreground to like nourish the way sex work and sex workers are like represented. And so Magdalena Te Amo was our first attempt doing
How
so.
do you pronounce that? I'm sorry.
Magdalena
Okay.
Te Amo. It's in Spanish.
Great. Okay. All right. Yeah. And this is LRM here. But I'm not going to attempt to, I don't want to mess it up, butcher it or
No
anything.
worries, no worries.
Now, fantastic. Do you see yourself continuing to tell stories around themes of gender and socio-economic disparity
Yeah,
beyond this?
yeah, of course, of course. I've been very fortunate to experience and learn from a lot of different communities and sort of grow in different spaces where the question of gender and the question of class and the question of like socioeconomical disparities usually intersects.
Yeah.
And I've been very, very inspired by the courage and the sort of little revolutions that have happened in each of those spaces. And
Oh, wow.
I want to be able to share that with like the reverence and the beauty that it not only deserves but also has. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you, did having a diverse crew, including NYU students and all female department heads, influence the creative process? And also, why was that choice made and how did the project benefit from it? I know it's three-part question, um, but in general, how did having a diverse crew, including the NYU students and all female department heads, influence the creative process?
It was crucial. Like I don't think we would have been able to get to the how to say this, like the rawness and the authenticity that the film has if it wasn't for how curated and carefully sort of designed our team was.
Mm,
Because again, it's a collaborative process and there's so far that we can draw from my personal experience, but
sure.
you know, movies are about people and
Right.
so that was crucial. Now I'm like backtracking and thinking of all of the questions that
Take your
you asked.
time. Sure.
Um, it was a very beautiful process because like part of the job was to be able to bridge these two worlds that like people might assume are like super separated, right? The NYU
Sure.
community and then the sex work community. But as we were building our team and as we were building our story, we were able to find people that, you know, sort of like jump from one to the other and nourish that like sort of dialogue. Um,
Fantastic.
and having actual sex workers informing the choices, being the ones leading the departments, being the ones, you know, yeah, making the choices in terms of creative decisions, in terms of
Right.
whatever, just made it so that it felt closer to home, sort of.
Awesome. Yeah, it feels like a very, it's like I don't want to say intimate, but it is it comes across. I mean, the runtime, I think it was like 15, 17, maybe 20 minutes around there. But
16 to
16, all right, you know for sure. Okay, yeah. But it packs a punch, like a wallop there, definitely, with the twist that it takes. I mean, it's like one twist, you're going on for the ride. I don't want to spoil anything for the audience, but I do encourage folks to check it out though. Um how did you portray for the role of the main character, Magdalena, both
sorry.
emotionally and physically? How did you prepare to
Oh,
um, act as the main
okay.
character?
Well, I was fortunate enough to have a performance director, Nas, and
Okay,
we knew that we had to very much create her in separation of me,
okay,
uh, but informed by, you know, things that I've experienced, things that my friends have experienced. But it was very crucial for us to like take a moment to actually, you know, get her ready, sort of.
sure.
Um, distanced from the whole production because like I was wearing so many hats and you know it was just very important to have her. So Nas just helped me get there. And and that was it. I mean, again, like there was a lot of information that I already had because of the research that I had been doing
Sure.
and all of the experiences that I've had. So she's like sort of like a dramatized version of me in very particular instances. But
Interesting.
I already knew how to pole dance.
Oh, all right. Okay. Thanks for that answer. Cool. And I have to like that was the sound design is very well, and the opening dolly shot, the tracking shot, and everything, great. Now, the film explores societal hypocrisy around wealth and sex work. Why was this theme important for you to address?
I think there's many reasons why sex work has been pushed to the margins, and one of the sort of the symptoms that that has created is that like it's also very gendered. So it's very striking to me to see how men uh have the ability to like go, or rather are seen as being able to go like be in these places, consume these services, and then
Sure.
go to the real world. And there's never like a question of their maybe their integrity, but not
They aren't
but like
tainted or sullied or anything from
exactly
being
like there
there.
there's never a sense of shame
Right.
as like crystallizing and as paralyzing as it has been for
For sure. For
women
women.
identifying sex
Right.
workers, exactly. And that was so striking to me how like unfair
Right.
it was. So I kind of wanted to like draw some sort of parallel between how, as a guy you can sort of jump between worlds, but as a girl you're sort of kind of stuck.
Right.
And
She couldn't be
that,
transparent there because of she was aware of that. And
yeah, but it's also the way it's like sort of conditioned, right?
right.
It's not inherent. Being able to jump between these two spaces is the thing that is granting her social mobility.
Mm,
Um, and like a means to survive because that's her job.
right.
But like she's having to deal with a lot of shit that he
Nah, it's all
just
good.
doesn't have to. And 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 that unfairness is like was part of what we wanted to address.
Right. And you did a great job. I like that line about without spoiling anything, that she was taking care of everything herself. And I won't spoil anything for folks, but you definitely hit the mark there. Um, what was the casting process like? Finding actors and also actors that are sex workers. You did cast sex workers in the film. So what
Yes.
was that process like?
Well, it was very cool because I was working with friends, um, either directly or friends of friends. So for the people that I casted that were like in New York,
Sure.
again, they were my friends. I've been
Cool.
like they were my friends. And then for the actors that we had to fly in, I was fortunate enough to, I have this great mentor in Colombia, and he was connected to these big actors in Colombia. And I was
Nice.
like, can you please connect me? And so it was a connection of connections, and they were very nice. They helped us a lot, and that's how we did it.
Awesome. I read that the film shares a location with Honora.
Yes.
Is that right? Could you
It
tell
doesn't
us
even
about that?
share what it doesn't share a location. It shares so many things.
Really? Okay. All right. Could you
Yeah.
go into that some to without spoilers, you know?
Sure. I will say I've watched Nora once,
Okay.
so there might be a lot of details that on a second watch I might be like, "Oh my God,
There's some more
this."
connections, some more themes or
But yeah, we shot in the same location, headquarters, that's the name of the club.
nice.
Headquarters, but Rosewood, that's where we shot.
Okay.
We have some of the same dancers that, like that were dancing as extras. Some of my friends were like, wearing both.
Nice.
We share some shots. The opening shot for Honora and our second, like the shot that goes right after our very, very first shot is very similar.
Okay. When it
It's like
pans over and it's in the and it's them two.
this tracking
Right.
is It's crazy because I was in the theater. I was like, what's happening?
Nice. All
Why
right.
am I watching my movie here? Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, that I mean the theme of love, sex, work class, the themes of like migration. Of course, there's like I mean, this is like Sean Baker's big, huge movie, and this
Right.
was my little thesis film. Um, but yeah,
Awesome. Is it true that you did 4 years of research?
yeah.
Nice. Okay. And what was that like? What was that process like?
Um, it was very intense. It implied understanding what was that I was doing. You know, like
Sure.
at the beginning, I was trying to understand things from like a academic theoretical background.
Hmm.
And then I was, you know, doing like on-field research. But like without this like distancing notion of like, oh, I'm just like observing.
Right.
I was very much trying to take in as much as I could, and it implied like interacting with a lot of people, and very much being receptive to those things that are very intimate that are
Sure.
only, yeah, like available if you are very much devoted and
Sounds like
there.
that to build a lot of relationships in this
Yeah.
journalism here, you know. So this is pretty cool. And hmm, when can folks and where can folks see the film? If we want to point them to where.
Well, right now we are in our festival like circuit, so the film is not at the moment it's not available
All
for
right.
like other sort of like forms of viewership that are not like the festival. So I would
Right. So on the
encourage.
festival circuit now, okay.
Yeah, exactly. But the moment we have distribution, I'll let you know.
Definitely let us know and we'll be happy to share it with the readers and viewers over here at LRM. Awesome. Well, on behalf of LRM, I want to thank you for taking time out for this interview today, Andrea, and we'll definitely get this shared, and hopefully more folks will delve into this the story, and we're looking forward to seeing the expansion of this, eventually, and to see what happens, as you continue your career.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye bye.